But that's Joe. Joe. That's the entire program obliterated. Wiped off of the face here for paying a few players of weren't the only ones who got caught. For years and years, the NCAA fought to keep college football amateur. By student athletes of all those days, because the NCAA feared to lose TV ratings to the NFL if it didn't maintain its life. And guess what happened? That's the courts of the United States. Its portal. And college football was overrun by runaway free agency. Runaway free agency with no rules. College football rules. Wait a second. We're at least as popular as we've always been. Yes, it's more so. Yeah. Oh, this tomorrow night. Oh, but it's just pro football. Does anybody remember student athletes or forced to miss games if they missed too much class? Those days are so. Remember the missed games because they missed class? Those days were so long gone. These free aged residents of the 3, 4, 5 schools they choose to, but they're no longer required to go to class. There are no more academic standards that you have to keep. There's no more eligibility requirements. More ACT, SAT minimums. Those days, this name these football after schools is always the way it was. But now, if most of these athletes are no longer students, many of them not most, the idea that kids playing for your school, dear old you, and sit in the same seats in the same class that we sat in college. These kids sitting in the same class is such a joke. Is a joke. It's a myth. It has been shattered right before your very own eyes. So here's the bottom line. Before I get to the bottom, the school football is in desperate need for a commission. It needs a Goodell. It needs that's right. 2-year contract. 2-year contract. You can have rampant free. You can't have rampant free agency year after year after year. Year after year after year. rampant free agency year after year after year, especially quarterbacks. For that money there. Oh, more money over here. I'll go back to here. We all have agents. You'll have to have some governing body with the rules. You're just gonna have to. Now, here's the bottom line. It's going to be the punchline. You can laugh if you will, but this is coming. Watch. This is coming. This is coming. You watch. The college pro should be away with all eligibility. Courts will abolish them. Compete with the National Football League at the highest level. College football, college pro football. You have to allow players to play as long as they want to play. If they want to keep on being on more for 4 to 5. Tear this apart. College football will finally say, you watch. College football will sit back and say, geez, well, it's working. Let's go. He can make some more money playing Vanderbilt, supply and demand, it's America, free market economy. Let them keep playing. Playing since 30, 35, or 40. Let's just keep playing. Watch it. It's coming. You laugh. It's coming. What's already happening with these kids in college basketball? They're going to the NBA. They're playing in the summer league. Jeez, I think that at Baylor, these college basketball, they're going to the NBA, playing the summer league, and they say, I'm going to running back in Baylor. Okay. And Tom Izzo is just collected out of his mind. You're like, you let them come back play football. The court said you can, you must. It's coming. The floodgates have opened the portals. College football alike. This person is representing schools in South City. It's like, submit to play college football at Baylor. Just keep on playing college football at Baylor. And you really laugh at this, but I believe there'll come a day and I'll play in college because I said it for years and it's coming. There's just come a day where Tom Brady will run his course on a National Football League. If they so chose, I think I got room left in the tank. I think I want to go back a year or two for Michigan. It's America. I mean, you have to come back. It's just another form of pro football. You're a hero. I think it's coming. You watch and you will watch because college football is exciting as ever. I'm into it. I'm into the portal. I'm in modern. My Oklahoma season fan has been smashing out in the portal. These boosters want to pay for these bragging rights. It's great. It's great for everybody. Everybody wins. Everybody watches. Everybody watches. Baloney. this whole child care scam and Minnesota is everywhere across America. And all the trillions, I said trillions of dollars being spent on dummy child care organizations. So it can pass around money and promote the matriarch and start political candidates that support the matriarchy and support of progressivism and support leftism and support disruption of male authority in the country. What is Black Lives Matter? You need to find money to finance it. But the National Football League is the most powerful force in popular culture. In order to get a message across, in order to normalize matriarchal rulership, you need the most strongest force in popular culture to be promoting the matriarch. And that's what the NFL is doing with their female owners. The first equity inclusion agenda. If a man use the other fraud that you use, I can never say it. I can never say it publicly. I can never go if this email boss, someone will come after my job because I will be branded as a sexist pig. Men aren't even allowed to think what they really think. We're not even free. We're not free. We can't even think what we really think. We can't even follow the Bible. There's a penny to pay for that in this world that they have created today. And women are in control, even if they don't have it. They don't have to overtake everything. Inside the NFL, inside Ford Motor Company, inside Chrysler Motor Company, inside Jones, inside whatever industry that you're talking about. If they're in the meeting room, sexist. Watch how many they fold. Yeah, I agree, it's sexist. Because they know if they don't, they put their own job and status and promotion and pay in jeopardy. And most of these men are cowards. Most of these men are cowards. I don't white people, black women. Most of them are cowards. They're not going to take on these feminists. The men who are undisciplined, sexually, so we can hold that over our heads. I'll tell you, you flirted with me at the last meeting. You grabbed my body. You pat me on the butt. We had sex. We had an affair. They got you by the balls because you don't have any discipline. And trust me, I'm very, very, very experienced with the lack of this. Very experienced. So anything I'm saying, I'm talking about myself as well. I'm not putting myself above. But you can think this whole thing has. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. I'm just going to go along to get them. But trust me, things will get worse. Those who need to have sons, the ones that you think to them, and to your daughter. A world run by women. To them and to your daughter. You can think this whole thing is fun. If you have surrendered to the matriarch. That helps. But it is what it is. I'm just a go-on giver. Trust me, things will get worse. Those of you men who have sons, the world that you lead to them and to your daughters, a world run by women, feminists, women, and direct rebellion to God and the temple. Your citizens, your sons, to the passive level of homosexuality and rebellion to God and even chaos. You're sentencing your son to a passive level of homosexuality would be lethal. Because even if they're not gay, they might as well be gay, they will act gay. To win the favorite of not be non-threatening to the feminist women who will be in charge and be non-threatening to the feminist women who will be in charge and in power to assign by real meltdown. You see your boys. You send your boys by real and authority. Your citizens, your boys. It's a homosexuality, a homosexual mindset. Because you have given up. You're so afraid of getting on the wrong sides of the you don't have to have the team. What do you think is going on in the National Football League? It's not like these women have numbers. When they can't talk football, they can't talk football. They don't have a real interest. They certainly don't know to be an authority of football. That's why the owner of the team, you have to read a script. Just a post-season press conference. Because you don't have any real thoughts. And so what can they actually control or control? Diversity, equity. Oh shit. They can't talk football. They don't have a lot worse than everything else. And we need more women installed in jobs around the national football. I get it. I know dangerous is to say the things that I'm saying out loud. It's dangerous. And most of them agree. Oh, it's a sexist pig. Sexist pig. Girlfriend is age well. They give me my husband. And free. I think I'm a bit much, but I'm trying to help you understand in every way, shape, or form. We have a spiritual conflict going on. Woman was perfectly to usurp male authority. Oh, you're in it right now. He taught on the National Football League. They were littered with female influences. Carly Earth St. Gordon, owner of his Gail Benson, owner of the Saints, Jody Allen, owns all the Tennessee Titans. With their top ownership in a littered with female influencers. Owner of the Colts, owner of the Colts, Gail Benson, owner of the Saints, Jody Allen, owner of the Seahawks, 80 Adams Strong, from the dad or the husband's death or whatever, these women have ownership control for football teams. And because of this whole DEI initiative, the NFL is following economic reform instructions, leaning into installing women's ownership everywhere by title, maybe not reality, but by title. There's like a dozen women with claims of ownership, and it's inside all of the meetings. They have a saying in all the meetings. They have the answer to them in all of the meetings. They don't have a football opinion. Whether it's instant replay, should be de-emphasized, just not their inner expertise. It's telling men who to hire and how you should treat the people that are their HR reps. And there's some slogan that you want to put on, and there's some slogan you want to put on the shirt. They have big monsters say of all of that. And that's why Inspire Change is on the front of all these shirts that's worn during the NFL stand on the sidelines. Because the change they want to inspire is the disruption and the destruction of the patriarchy. You could be a male loser. You do this, we don't deserve to be this. Yeah, let's let them run the next 2, 3, 4,000 years. Let them run the next 30, 40 years. Let's leave that world to our sons and daughters. And if I say something, it gets off my job. If I say something, my wife may not. My wife may not give me sex. May I say something? My wife may not give me sex for the next 6 months or the next 6 years. I don't have to go too far. I want to unpack it. I will be on this message all of 2026, I'll be looking for ways to help you understand how they're using sports and how important sports is to normalize the corruption and the matriarchal culture that's pervasive across America. When I come back, I'll lighten up the conversation with Danny Canal. We'll talk straight some football stuff. The first I'm saying on the show, I'm trying to beat the be behind it. Be behind. You want part that does something straight in. Jackson Dart's dad came after me. And all I've said was, I'm not sure Jackson is the future. I'm not sure the future is. That was you, the line out of my mouth. You want to talk about the next Ryan Lee or Jamarcus Russell. It's unbelievable how thin-skinned some people are. Giants fans turned on Owls the worst quarterback ever of the franchise. You can make a case. That might be the situation. At least I made it to the playoffs. I mean, that's my theory that's going to go with. But you would have thought, and it's not only Strahan, Jackson Dart's dad came after me. And all I've said was, I'm not sure Jackson Dart is the future of Jackson. Don't line out of my mouth. You would have thought I'd call the next Ryan Lee or Shamarcus Russell. It's unbelievable how thin-skinned some people are. Giants fans turns on me saying I'm the worst quarterback in the history of quarterback. That might be true. I was blown away by their action. I need to see another year from that. Grow up, take the steps. I'm not sold on Jackson personality perspective. I'm not these guys that are these gold chains. I don't feel it just rubs me the wrong way. Anointing is he's relying a lot of his legs to carry apart. He's a great scrambler, he's a great rapid. He even calls himself a wingback who plays quarterback. That's not sustainable, and I do think that this is definitely going to have a lot of adjustments with new coaching staff, new pieces around him, but most importantly, those defenses are going to take away his rush. Because why would they take away? It's not enough. They don't watch film enough. They don't try to. For the entire offseason with NFL's defensive staffs, they're going to break down tape of Jackson Dart. They're going to make a priority to beat you from the pocket. He made some nice throws, but his passing stats declined the last 6 games of the year. He's starting to develop as a passer. I have no question about his athleticism. How you develop as a passer, you not develop as a passer. After 2 years, I did. I'll say this. Like the stricken, and you really feel it. Oh, after 2 years, I took it very. I was the 4th round pick. I was a 4th round pick. league, man. I was starting the Giants. It was the cheapest quarterback. I was making $231,000 as a starting quarterback. So my agent, Mark Dickoff, was great legend. His son runs the Rams right now, Kevin Devon, will be a future commissioner in the NBA. He called me. The decision is: you want to wait and try to play another year and break the bank, or you want to gain some financial security, take it to a friendly deal, and after start, put some money in your pocket, and I said sign me up for that. I don't want to risk it again. Got it. Got the big payday. At the time, I think it was $12 million deal with $3 million up front. And all I saw that contract was the $3 million up front because I was cut after the first year of it. The Giants did me a solid of it. Side. Be a star. What it takes to develop, to learn. Only 2 stars. I was a knucklehead. I didn't realize the opportunity I had. I didn't work as hard. I made it pretty open about it. I took it for granted. Free success came easy for me. Every sport that I do. So I was back in the Broncos when I was 29 and 30, and I was cut. It was crazy. That's why I got cut from the Broncos. It was the last time I ever played. That the one stung me the most. I felt like I was a good player. Giants did me a solid by giving me a financial security, which I would have more time to develop. I think it takes 2 either 3 years to be a starting quarterback to really find out you got what it takes to develop and learn. I wish I got a little bit more time, but I was a knucklehead. I didn't realize the opportunity I had. I didn't work as hard. Being pretty open about it, I kind of took it for granted. My success came very easily to me in the sport that I play, and I didn't really realize what it meant to be a pro in the NFL until I was about like back on the Broncos when I was like 29, 30, and I was cut. It was crazy. That's why when I got cut on the Broncos, that was the last time I ever played. That one stung me the most because I felt like I was a good player. That was a great backup for Jake Plummer. I knew what it took to bear throughout practice all week, and they decided to go with a young quarterback. Your quarterback who was cheaper. I was a little bit of a knucklehead. Just get my feet wet in the NFL. It's fascinating to hear you say that, to acknowledge it. You know, we heard Michael Vick as acknowledged that he didn't go as hard, but with this era, if you question anybody's work ethic, particularly a black quarterback, you risk just your grip. But the reality is, all these young guys, they come in the league and it feels like monopoly money, pathways, famous. So everybody, it's the rare young guy that doesn't struggle with work ethic and is taking advantage of this opportunity. For sure, I was so blown away by hearing stories of quarterbacks who come in the first guy the last guy. Let me give you one more. I said knucklehead. I was never late. I was never missed practice. I never missed practice. I never missed a meeting. I wasn't certainly at 2 hours ahead. Which later on, and the meeting started at 9, about like 8 o'clock. The true guys that get it, that in the building at 7 a.m. So after they stay late, they put a little extra film, getting that extra workout in to try to make sure their bodies are in tune. That's the stuff that I didn't understand. And that's I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. When I was drafted in the 4th, Dave Brown. Dave Brown was the starting quarterback. Not to throw anybody under the bus. But while I was drafted in the 4th round, Dave Brown was the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. And he was sort of a year where he was trying to prove himself in his situation, some flux, and I ended up taking his job, and we were pretty good friends. He always treated me fantastic, but I wanted to get drafted by the Broncos or the Dolphins. I want to get drafted by the Broncos or the Dolphins, and for two reasons. One, and two, John Elway, and two, Dan Marino, because I wanted to watch and learn. Only 2 years of high school football. I played 2 years of college football. In local situation, I had great talent around me. I didn't realize I needed to grow. I needed to thrust into the spotlight early and didn't never saw a quarterback prepare the way that you have to succeed in the NFL. It, it was too late. I learned that later in my career when you become an expense, they'll learn to get cheaper. But it's a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. Some guys have natural ability and talent to those mistakes. Do you remember the reaction for Kyler Murray? And this was such a red flag for me. When he signed this mega deal, and in the deal they put there was a minimum requirement, a film study that he had to do. And I was like, are you kidding? They're going to give him this contract knowing that they have to do a stipulation that they have to watch extra film? And that was my reaction. Meanwhile, the rest of the NFL world lost their mind. This is unfair. They took the clause out of the contract, which was insane. That was a thing. And then Kyler Murray says, I don't watch it. And then Kyler Murray admitted it, that he says that he don't watch film. And and then Kyler Murray admitted it that he don't watch film. One star. And and then Kyler Murray admits that I don't watch a lot. I don't need to. I let my reactions. I'm just a playmaker that just don't work. I don't care how special you are. You gotta study the game to become a student of the game. It's so pervasive. NFL, the NBA, they're genetics leagues. You gotta be there's a certain height in the NBA, or there's just no room for you. Same deal kind of goes on in the NFL, particularly in certain positions. And growing up with Jeff George, I watched his NFL career when he entered the league. He had some success everywhere. High school, junior high, college. He finally got in the league among a group of peers. In the first 3 or 4 years, it was just 3 or 4 years. It was a struggle for him. He went to Oakland for the Raiders, and I went to visit him. The Vikings and the Colts. Yeah. I watched his NFL career when he entered the league. When he had some success everywhere. College, check the Colts and the Falcons. And he finally got in the league. And when he finally got to the Raiders, the first 3 or 4 years was a struggle for him. He played for the Falcons and the Colts and the Falcons. So when he went up to Oakland to play for the Raiders, and I went out to visit him and had to wait on him after practice, and he did an extra workout after practice. And it's like, I've never seen Jeff. But he finally figured it out. They're like, no. And that's when he had a year when he threw 29 TDs and 9 interceptions and all that things. Ended up in Minnesota. It's a process for super talent to figure out the level requires. And some of them never figured out they survive on talent. But let me move on, Danny. I want to get your thoughts on the Giants' next coach. Which direction they should go to. I don't know, being stuck in a trap of trying to get a coach just for the quarterback. You hear that trend, you have a young quarterback, you want to have a coach who can fix the quarterback. Sometimes that works. Ben Johnson was brought to Chicago to help Caleb Williams and develop him as a quarterback. Other times it doesn't. Then Mike McDaniel was brought to Miami to fix Tua Tagovailoa. Maybe he fixed him a little. Some will argue that maybe he fixed him a little bit. And Canales was brought into Carolina to fix Bryce Young. To fix Bryce Young. I mean, he done a fighter check, but I think you hired the best coach available. That's who you should hire. Whether defensive mind and offensive mind, you let him figure out. I think Vrabel was the best hire of the last cycle, and you got Josh McDaniels. So you have a perfect thing. You have a coach that have a great track record, an offensive coordinator with head coaching experience, so it's going to help Drake May to develop as a quarterback. And Mike Vrabel is a defensive. He played as a player, linebacker, defensive mind. To me, if John Harbaugh didn't come, he's fired. Yeah, he will. As a leader of an organization that will respect the command of the locker room that he will bring, I don't call him a Isabel. Kevin Stefanski, you're not hiring him. I think Stefanski was great. I think he's a really good football coach. I think he will run a bad quarterbacks, and that's just the mold of great offensive mind to work with a young quarterback Jackson Dart, get Malik Neighbors back, because Scottaboo back. Scottaboo back. I absolutely ran. It's moved to Cleveland in the most, quarterback in all four perhaps in history football. Andrew Berry, the general manager, who's been retained, has some interesting comments on the quarterback position. Quarterback is play to flip. Find a leader for it. That's what first one. I don't think he should door. Gives himself a start, which I think that type of confidence. I think he's got to realize it's not his franchise yet. He's not anywhere to deserve that yet. I think he's ready to compete to play just like he did this season. So I'll take it. I'll probably do which door is a good quarterback. It helps you win. He's the long-term answer for them. Or Dion, if they get Dion cult members. The thing that he said and Shador was if I had someone to blame other than Shador, Miles Garrett had this incredible season, but the entire conversation was about Shador. What coach wants this job? Somebody would take this take a boatload of money. It's only 432 jobs, so I'll say this. These coaches talk. It's a fraternity. What sort of advice would Kevin Stefanski have? He's probably going to say, beware of what you're getting into. Embrace yourself for the circus as you. And it's because it's going to similar to the Tim Tebow experience, the way that everybody saw the whole. It's always, it's just even as a third stringer. Until Belichick got tired. Take a step further. I'll take it a step further. You're going to sign here as a quarterback to deal with that. Where it better be somebody that has really thick skin, has a nice track record of success. Or the first time we go out there and struggle, that whole faction of the fan base feel like, bench again, I don't want to see Shador. We want to see him again. That's a very real discussion that's got to be had. I don't think everyone struggle to coach that really good, but get another quarterback. If they drop somebody again, they don't have to say, when they go on the free agent market, try to bring in a better experience, how is that going to work? Because I'll tell you, players talk, coaches talk, and I don't even know the indictment on Shador. He's a bad team. It's just, you don't want to get into that situation where it becomes bigger the teams, bigger the running that Shador playing is not every single game. Take it back to the beginning of the season. Every single game, when Shador going to play? That gets old. Everybody gets like the coach and the quarterbacks. First team refs discussion. I do blame Shador for not. He could have done some things early on to lessen that conversation. He had no interest in doing it to be forced as a child. The other twist outcomes, Danny, the Father Student is a perfect topic for you. I actually think the drafted rookie quarterbacks actually do have leverage than they ever had. It seems like the NCAA say, hey, you can return to college football. Somebody playing basketball for 2 or 3 years and now playing for Baylor. And so I think what the Browns dropped like 7 or 8, I can't remember, but there's somewhere I think the actual rookie quarterback winning will have some leverage. Potentially use his agent to say, hey man, we don't have any interest in playing, and we explore every other option to not be involved in that situation. And I wouldn't blame him. The Shador, I wouldn't blame him. It's not what Kevin Stefanski's going to say. It's not what Dylan Gabriel's going to say. That's what their agents are going to say. Communicate every up to their agents. The agents will share what they hear among the other agents. Everybody gonna have clean hands. Stefanski never said anything. They're going to say anything. But if not for the Shador cloud, Dylan Gabriel would have gotten some snaps in the end, some snaps in the end of the season. He would have played half of that game last week. The only reason they kept Shador out is they didn't want to deal with all the questions. I rambled. Go ahead. The Browns pick 6. Unfortunately, I do think it's a bad class quarterback. It's a 2-man so far with Fernando Mims and Dante Moore. I think it's interesting we heard Dante Moore actually talk to him last week on the Orange Bowl. Orange Bowl, you gotta make a decision making. The Jets pick 2. He has an extra year of eligibility. He's just a junior. You give him one. You go back to Oregon. You can make 5, 6. maybe $7 million. I know it doesn't. It's not the same as the 32 million guarantee that can't work. I know it doesn't. It's not the same as the 32 million guarantee that Cam Ward got on signing bonus, but it sure helps. It's not like you go back to nothing like you did 5 years ago, so you can make way more leverage to your point of where it is. And then if you are the Browns, let's say you fall in love with a quarterback, you gotta worry about that too. They have quarterback issues. The list of quarterbacks has been a quarterback graveyard. So I feel over. There he goes. He goes out to Seattle. He had a great year too. He goes back to Cleveland. He's supposed to be a starter. And you can just picture it right now. He's so shocked.